Welcome back from Clipper Magazine Stadium for the second game of what has turned out to be a very lengthy doubleheader. Game one, a 13-8 victory for the High Point Rockers, in which we saw a total of 25 base hits. It took 2 hours, 46 minutes to play. Add to that a 1 hour, 43-minute rain delay, and here we are after 11 o'clock to get game two of our doubleheader started. We'll run you through the starting lineups here very quickly. For the High Point Rockers, Stephen Cardullo leading off and playing first base. The center fielder batting number 2 is Miles Schroeder. Tyler Ladendorf at second base batting third. The cleanup hitter is the left fielder, Quincy Lattimore. Hector Gomez is batting fifth, playing third. Via Sergey Rosa, the designated hitter, batting sixth. Breland Almadova is the right fielder. He is batting in the number 7 slot. The shortstop batting 8, Giovanni Alfonso. Frank Nigro, the catcher, is batting 9th. Lucas Irvin is on the mound. He will be making his Rockers debut. He was 2-2 for Sugarland earlier in the season. Here is Cardullo ready to lead off against left-hander John Anderson. Anderson 5-4 on the season. First pitch peppered in for a called strike. It is 0-1. Defensively for the Barnstormers, at third base, Joe Terdoslavich. At shortstop, Michael Martinez. Darian Sanford again at second, and Casey Hobson at first. Anderson fires low. It is 1 ball and 1 strike. The outfield has Andrew Applin in left with Devon Torrance again in center. Greg Golson making the start in right field, and Parker Morin is the catcher working with Anderson here in the nightcap. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. Here is the windup. Anderson to the plate. That is popped up foul, back and out of play. As we get to a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes, they are still working on clearing the scoreboard from game one of the doubleheader. A lot of action behind the scenes between games of the doubleheader, and finally we are reset to 0-0. 1 ball, 2 strikes. John Anderson, a stalwart of this Barnstormers pitching staff, deals, and it's bunted foul, but under the new rules, Cardullo gets another chance. That rule definitely adding some intrigue and a different amount of strategy. So Cardullo is alive at 1 ball and 2 strikes, but he can no longer bunt. Stephen Cardullo, 4 hits in game one, including for the 3rd time this year. He led off a ball game with a home run against the Barnstormers for the High Point Rockers. So Cardullo jumping his average to 269. He has 11 home runs. He has driven in 43. Anderson ahead in the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Left-hander into the motion. The pitch swung on and missed. John Anderson fans Cardullo to start off game two. 1 away. Miles Schroeder, the switch-hitting center fielder, will step in. Schroeder in game one was 1 for 4 with a couple of runs driven in. Anderson is making his 13th start of the year, his 18th appearance overall. He is 5-4. He's thrown 76 1/3 innings, yielding 88 hits, 39 earned runs. He has walked 21, struck out 67. He has a win in relief against the Rockers. That came back in the opening series of the season on April the 28th. He threw a couple of scoreless innings of relief, or at least it didn't give up an earned run. Fouled away by Schroeder. No balls and a strike. He's also had a good start, a quality start at High Point. He didn't factor in the decision there, giving up 2 runs in 6 innings. In the dirt for a ball, it is 1-1 all the way. Parker Morin keeping his eye on Miles Schroeder, who could have taken off at any point. And the other factor is that the bat boys have to be clued into that too. They can't run out and pick up the ball as they've been trained to do for as long as they've been bat boys. Or girls in some cases, not tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike on Miles Schroeder. 1 out, nobody on, but that's one of the what-ifs that happen to be brought up by players and coaches since these new rules were unveiled. Strike 2 to the outside corner on Schroeder. It is 1-2. I believe this is the latest we have ever started a Barnstormers game. Anderson brings it home, swing and a miss. He has started off his night with back-to-back punch-outs. 2 have been retired, and Tyler Ladendorf, the second baseman, will come to the plate. Ladendorf had 3 doubles, 2 stolen bases, and was 4 for 5 in the opener of the doubleheader. Average up to 268 with 11 home runs and 43 runs batted in. 2 outs in the inning. The motion and the pitch, and Anderson really seems to have off-speed stuff working early. You got Ladendorf to chase that. It is no balls and a strike, and a correction on the numbers for Ladendorf, 267. 11 home runs, 38 runs batted in. I haven't had much of a chance to fill my scorebook in, having to re-gear for game 2. Off-speed pitch for a second strike. It's 0-2. Had I known we were going to be facing this, my gear would have been set up in the other booth. But that is being used for the TrackMan folks here tonight, and while it's not operational, it is still undergoing testing. Foul ball back, it is 0-2, and they would be using it tonight except for a gap in shipping, and we didn't get all the pieces as far as the audio equipment elements are concerned. No balls, 2 strikes to Tyler Ladendorf. Here is the motion by Anderson. The pitch is outside, says Carlos Dano. It is 1-2. Carlos has the plate. Buzz Albert at first. Brian DeBrouwer over at third. Here in game 2 of our doubleheader. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Anderson will bring it home, and this is elevated to left. Galloping back on this is Applin. He will be there for the final out. John Anderson breezes through the top half of the first inning. Nothing across for the High Point Rockers at the end of a half an inning. It's High Point nothing. The Barnstormers are coming up.
Remove the wrong piece and the whole structure might fall apart. No, I'm not talking about the Barnstormers lineup. I'm talking about the life-size Jenga game that is part of the Subaru outdoor experience down the right field line at Clipper Magazine Stadium. There's ping pong, huge dice to roll, and more. Trivia contests take place before every Saturday home game. Group bookings are available, so enjoy the games while at the game and come to the Subaru outdoor experience just below the Broken Bat deck.
Hi, this is Hall of Famer Carlton Fisk. Make your plans today to visit Cooperstown and the Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum.
There it goes, a long drive. If it stays fair, home run.
Reconnect with your memories of the game and make new memories with your family. Check out baseballhall.org today for more information.
Carlton Fisk had a lot of little boy in him right there, Joe.
The National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum, preserving history, honoring excellence, and connecting generations.
On the hill in game 2 for the High Point Rockers is Lucas Irvin. He is pitching now for his 4th different Atlantic League ball club. Irvin earlier this year with the Sugarland Skeeters went 2-2 and had a 6.35 ERA. He had a couple of very tough outings against the Barnstormers, and the last time we saw Lucas Irvin, he was left at the end of a rope dangling in the breeze by the Skeeters. He walked 9 batters and threw 92 pitches, all in relief in a ball game that the Barnstormers won 12-5. So a fresh start for Lucas Irvin here. He handled that, I thought, with a lot of class. His first pitch to Michael Martinez is lifted to shallow left center field. A long way back goes the shortstop Giovanni Alfonso to make the catch. Martinez retired, 1 out. Caleb Gindel, the designated hitter, will step in. So already a better outing for Irvin. He gave up 4 hits, but the 9 walks and 9 runs in 3 innings out of the bullpen during a day game at Constellation Field. I felt horribly for Irvin that day, and the fact that he handled it with dignity, well, he became a hero. First pitch, inside and low, ball 1 and no strikes. Not to say that I don't want the Barnstormers to beat them tonight, because Lancaster in need of a win. The ball club has lost 6 in a row now. The 1-0 to Gindel. He swings and he foul tips that. It is a ball and a strike. An extraordinarily late start for game 2 of our doubleheader. No score. We're in the bottom half of the first inning with 1 out, nobody on base. Gindel batting. Joe Turdoslavich waits on deck. Irvin back into the motion, and he delivers low. It is 2-1. Lucas Irvin is a native of Grove, Oklahoma. Grew up in Missouri. Here is the 2-1. High and outside. Gindel at 3 balls and a strike. Caleb in game 1 was 2 for 3 with a home run and a double. He crossed the plate 3 times. The Barnstormers had a very productive game offensively with 8 runs on 8 hits. Gindel looks at ball 4 down low, and the Barnstormers have this game's first base runner. Caleb is on with 1 out. Joe Turdoslavich, the third baseman, checking in. Turdoslavich was 1 out of 3 and scored a run in the first game. Runner at first base with 1 out. Steven Cardullo holding Gindel on. We talked at length in game 1 about how the numbers of stolen bases have escalated dramatically since the new pickoff rule was put in place. Gindel stays put. Turdoslavich swings, and it's a mighty high pop-up over the right side of the infield. Cardullo is there to latch onto it. That's the second out. Hobson will step in. It was a seriously long wait for it to come down. Now Hobson to the plate. Casey had a 4 RBI game. He was 1 for 4, a 3-run homer and an RBI ground out in the first game of the doubleheader. 2 outs. Gindel still the base runner. 228 now for Hobson with a dozen home runs. He is second on the Barnstormers career list. 44 runs batted in. He is climbing that ladder also. The pitch to him off the inside corner from Irvin. It is ball 1 and no strikes. Who's going to have the life left here in game 2 of the doubleheader? The Rockers are 2-3 in the second half. The Barnstormers are 0-4. Ball 1, no strikes. Swing and a miss by KC. The count levels at 1 each. Right fielder Greg Golson waits on deck. Barnstormers with Ross Peoples back over coaching third. Josh Bell is coaching first here in the nightcap. A lot of people left after game 1. Blue Ridge had to shut it down. It was past their available time. Strike 2 to the outside corner on KC. Tom Richards, our sound coordinator, had to leave. John Whitwer, our public address announcer, had to leave. So we have basically a skeletal crew for the second game. 1 ball, 2 strikes due to Hobson. Irvin working out of the stretch. Gindel stays put, and there's a swing and a miss at a fastball. KC has gone on strikes in the bottom of the first. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left. We're done with 1 here in the nightcap, and there is no score.
Like craft beers? Well, the best place to be in Lancaster then is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right. Celebrate baseball or just a night with your friends at the Broken Bat Deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat features more than 20 local craft breweries and product from a local winery. Food is sold off a pub-style menu. And new for 2019, there will be a trivia contest every Saturday evening beginning at 5, hosted by Cheaters Never Prosper. So get together, hang out with your friends, make some new ones, and enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with the Barnstormers game.
Tuxedo Tour and Travel. If you want to be there, we'll get you there. New York, Washington, D.C. We service all casinos, day trips, or multi-day excursions. Lebanon's #1 tour bus company, providing monthly casino trips. Sands of Bethlehem, Resort of Atlantic City, Mohegan Sun of Pocono Downs, go to www.tuxedotour.com or give us a call, 717-269-3124.
We head to the lower half, or the top half rather, of the second inning. Quincy Lattimore leading off for the Rockers. Lattimore knocked in 3 runs in the opener. 2-run double and a sac fly. Officially, he was 2 out of 3. First offering to him is popped up near the plate. Parker Morin over, but it watches it sail into the seats. A strike on Lattimore. It's 0-1. John Anderson got the side in order in the top of the first inning. 2 strikeouts and a fairly deep fly ball to left, but never troublesome. Tracked down by Applin out there. Here's the motion back to Lattimore. 0-1. Good looking breaking ball for a second strike. And it's 0-2 on the white bespectacled Quincy Lattimore. Fastball moves him back off the plate. Ball 1 is inside. 1-2. Third baseman Hector Gomez, who has been a big thorn in the side of the Barnstormers all year, waits on deck. The kick, Anderson with the 1-2, and Lattimore takes that upstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the leadoff batter in the top half of the second inning. Defense playing Lattimore to pull Devon Torrance well to left center field. It's smashed to third and off the glove of the backhanded try by Terdoslavich. He comes up firing but won't get him. And that should go down as an infield base hit for Lattimore, and the leadoff man is on here in the second inning. Terdoslavich had to wheel around on the smash down the line, got a glove on it, knocked it down, but couldn't relocate it in time to retire Lattimore. So there's a man on, bringing on Hector Gomez. Gomez in game 1 was 2 out of 4. Drove in a couple of runs. Big swing and a miss here. It is no balls and a strike. On the year now, 293 with 4 homers, 41 runs batted in, but he's knocked in 13 against the Barnstormers. He is batting .413 in the season series. Infield set, double play depth. Anderson delivers, and the ball is inside on Gomez. We are even at 1 apiece. The Barnstormers and the High Point Rockers in the top half of the second inning. Scoreless to this point. Lattimore out to a lead, not going on Anderson. That ball is driven toward left center field. Hustling back is Torrance. He was playing that way, and it's good enough to retire Gomez on a deep liner to left center. 1 out in the inning via Sergei Rosa, the designated hitter to the plate. Rosa hit one of the 2 home runs for the Rockers in game 1. The Barnstormers belted 3. Applin, Hobson, and Gindel good for 6 of the 8 Lancaster runs. Anderson to face Rosa. Breland Almadova, the Hawaii native, waits on deck. 1 out, 1 on. Lattimore takes off on the first move. The pitch a called strike. The throw is in time at second base. Well, what do you know? It can happen after all. It's the first one we've seen since the new rules have been put in place. It also happens to be the first guy Morin has gunned down all year. And we've generally spoken about that. Morin hasn't had too many chances to really get off a throw. That time he did. Lattimore's a goner, 2 outs. 0-1 to Rosa, a big swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes. All John Anderson had to do was start bringing the leg up, and Lattimore took off. Breaking ball is outside and low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lattimore had 3 stolen bases coming into game 2. Rosa batting at a ball and 2 strikes here. 2 outs, bases clear in this scoreless battle. John Anderson in the windup. The pitch sails high and outside. We get to 2-2. Barnstormers seeking a win. They have been hard to come by. Lancaster has now dropped 24 out of its last 30 overall. 2-2 is hit high to right center field, but this will hang long enough for Devon Torrance. He is over there to make the play. It's a 3-batter inning for Anderson. No runs on a hit, no errors, nobody left. We will go to the bottom half of the second. The Rockers and the Stormers are scoreless.
All of your connected devices can finally work the way you want them to. Heroes replace your router, forming a wireless mesh network that blankets your home.
Just like a baseball team needs pitchers, sluggers, relievers, and coaches to win games, a fire company needs firefighters, drivers, fire police officers, and administrative help to be successful. Fire companies need to function as a well-oiled team, and through training, preparing, working together like a team in an emergency, your local fire company responds to help save lives and property. It's time you stepped up to bat to hit a home run for your local Lancaster County Fire Company. Go to becomeafirefighter.org, sign up, and take a swing for the fences. Join the Lancaster County Fire Service team.
Enjoy baseball and stay in shape. The Lancaster Barnstormers have a great package for our more experienced fans to do both. The Silver Stormers package is open to all fans 55 and above. Get a ticket to all Tuesday home games. Take a walk around our beautiful stadium during the day on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And get a Silver Stormers t-shirt to sport to all of these events. The Silver Stormers is presented by A&E Audiology and Hearing Aid Center. Sign up today at the stadium or at LancasterBarnstormers.com.
Greg Golson leads off the second for the Barnstormers. Lancaster right now is almost overloaded in the outfield. There are 6 outfielders listed on the roster. You've got Applin, Golson, Torrance, and Gindel in this game, as well as Sanford at second base. And add to that Destin Hood. Ball one is outside and low to Golson. It is 1-0. So with the exception of Sanford and Gindel, nobody is getting a tremendous amount of playing time. Ross is doing the best he can to split the roles. A called strike. It is 1-1 on Golson. Greg has been very steady since the sluggish 3 for 26 start. He's at 265. Hit safely in 8 out of his last 9 games. 1 home run for him. He has driven in 6. The windup and the offering, drive out to right field. That'll be playable for Almodovar coming in, and he barely got there. That had him fooled. Almodovar started heading back toward the corner, had to reset the GPS and race in. He made the catch about shin high. 1 down, Andrew Applin stepping in. Applin getting the start in left field here in game 2. He was 2 for 3 as the designated hitter in game 1. Had a stolen base, a 2-run homer. Applin with his best game at the plate so far. Facing Luke Irvin, and the pitch is a ball outside, 1-0. Hasn't been a lot of life offensively in the early stages of game 2. Everybody wore himself out in game 1. 13-8 the Rockers won. A ball and no strikes. Applin pops this up foul and out of play. It'll get to 1-1. Luke Irvin is pitched for Camden, but that was incredibly brief back in 2013. I'm not even sure he remembers it. But he was a 2-year starter for the Somerset Patriots, and then spent the latter part of last season and the beginning of this year with the Skeeters around a trip to play for the Kansas City T-Bones in the American Association. At one point, his contract was purchased out of this league. He played for the Arizona Diamondbacks in the minors. 2-1 the count to Applin with 1 out here in the second inning. Irvin into his windup, and that is ball 3 inside, 3-1. Parker Moore, in the catcher, waits on deck.
it may be the guys who have the advantage in this game were the guys who did not play in game one. It is very hot and humid still. Ball 4 is low and inside to Applin. Irvin walks his second. Morin will step in. Parker Morin hitting .283 with a couple of home runs. He has driven in 11. Batting with 1 out and 1 on. Applin stole his second base in game 1 of the doubleheader. We'll see if he takes off again, being held by Cardullo over at first. Defense set straight away. There's no wind at all to speak of. It's very sultry here right now. First pitch strike grazes the inside corner to Morin. It's 0-1. Devon Torrance, the center fielder, waits on deck. Torrance had a very nice opener to the doubleheader. One strike, the count on Morin. Applin takes off. The pitch is taken. The throw down by Nigro, not in time. Skips into center field, but Applin can't get back up and go. The ball retrieved in a hurry. 2 strikes on Morin. The Barnstormers have moved a runner into scoring position here. Applin with a stolen base in each end of the doubleheader. They're certainly going to track the data on stolen bases between the first half of the year and the second half of the year, and they are going to discover an extreme discrepancy in the data. It will, I think, be statistically significant. 0-2. Applin out to the lead, and the pitch to Morin. Fastball taken for strike 3 on the outside corner. Parker Morin goes down looking. Irvin strikes out his second. And that leaves the inning to Torrance. Devon was 2 for 3 in game 1. And that certainly helps his cause. Torrance able to boost his average over 200 with that first game performance. He's also stolen 14 bases. Chance to drive in a run. Applin leads off second. First pitch fastball, good for a strike on Devon. It's 0-1. Torrance is 6 for 12 against High Point. When he's played against the Rockers, he has succeeded against the Rockers. Lancaster looking to pick up the first run. Applin at second base with 2 outs. 1 strike to Devon Torrance, up fairly close to the plate. Big swing and a foul ball sliced to the left and out of play. Devon batting 0-2. Talked about how well liked this man is on this Barnstormers ball club. And I've heard it from a couple of different sources, how much he is respected, and very often that's not the case when you have a guy with little experience. So he's obviously handled himself as the consummate professional. Breaking ball, that is strike 3 called. So back-to-back called third strikes once again, dismissing the Barnstormers in an inning with a runner in scoring position. It happened in the 4th inning in game 1. No runs, no hits, no errors. The Barnstormers strand a man. And now as we have come to the end of the 2nd inning here in game 2, it is still the Barnstormers nothing and the High Point Rockers nothing.
York Revolution fall to Somerset Patriots 12-7.
Localflavor.com, local flavor, localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine?
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com. Local Flavor. Come on, everybody. Localflavor.com. Local Flavor. Localflavor.com. Local Flavor.
Breland Almadova batting for the first time tonight. Right-handed batting right fielder here in Game 2. Almadova checks in, batting .314 with a home run and 11 driven in. Imagine having this guy as a role player on your club. The delivery from Anderson is lifted to left center field, converging are Applin and Torrance. It'll be Applin with the catch, and there's one out on one pitch for John Anderson here in the third inning. Jumping in will be the shortstop, Giovanni Alfonso. He's another pair of fresh legs for the Rockers here in Game 2. Alfonso batting .216 with no home runs. He has driven in 16 for the year. First pitch fastball in, a strike taken. It's 0-1. Giovanni played for the Long Island Ducks a couple of years back. Bouncer foul, it's 0-2. He's been in the Yankee system. But his roots are largely with the Mets. I know I've brought this up before, but his father, Edgar, was Ross Peoples' manager in Brooklyn back in 2001. So that's an interesting connection. A ball is inside, 1-2. Of course, his uncle Edgardo was a longtime New York Mets second baseman. Grounder foul. Edgar spent his minor league career with the Angels and the Orioles. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 out. Ross had a pretty good year in Brooklyn. He was New York Penn League Pitcher of the Year. His numbers were dazzling. Here comes the 1-2. Driven to right, down the line. Long way to go for Golson. He won't get there, and the ball is not in play. Alfonso taking his shot at the wall. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 44-32 was the crowd earlier tonight. And now you could take your guess at whether it's 44 or 32 at this late hour. We had a lot of groups in here. They've all had to depart. Ground ball, foul past Jamie Keefe in the coach's box. Alfonso keeps it going at 1-2. 1 out, nobody on. Top half of the third inning here in the nightcap. It is late. It's a work night. Just playing this one at the moment to fill in the schedule. The reason that the Barnstormers and the Rockers still wanted to get this second game in tonight is quite simple, the schedule. The Rockers didn't want to push this closer to the long bus ride back down to North Carolina. The Barnstormers have a doubleheader Friday night, grounded just foul outside third. Nifty play made by Terdoslavich for naught. It draws a smattering of applause here. 1-2 continuing on Giovanni Alfonso. A lot of the Rockers players, more the pitchers than the position players, have backgrounds with other teams in this league. You don't really see it on the position player roster. They're pretty much all new to the league. So again, hats off to Jamie Keefe and Billy Horn with what they have done. Alfonso is, I believe, the only guy who has been elsewhere in the Atlantic League among the position players. But pitching-wise, Paul Clemens, Chase Hutchinson, Ryan Kelly, Sam Runyon, Asher Tolliver, Joe Van Meter. There is strike 3. Third punch out for Anderson. And for the season, that is number 70 for John. 2 outs. And here is catcher Frank Nigro. Nigro is batting 100 with a home run and 4 runs batted in, but boy, that home run hurt. Game tying 3-run shot at High Point with 2 strikes and 2 outs in the 9th inning. Swing and a miss here against Anderson. It's 0-1. Just one of the many mishaps, missteps, and whatever that has plagued this Barnstormers ball club. Is just about to wrap that one up. And all of a sudden, he got a ball up and out the left field at BB&T Point, inside a ball 1-1. All along, I've been impressed with Nigro defensively. One ball, 1 strike, youthful looking. He's just 21. Fouled at the plate. And the count is 1-2. Out of Wilmington University, a Division II school. I mean, imagine having the opportunity to jump in here and make an impact with a very good ball club filled with veteran players that are a lot older than you are. 1 and 2. Won't say old enough to be his dad. That wouldn't be accurate. Ball 2 is inside. 2 and 2 now on Nigro. Anderson's retired 7 of 8, and the one man that reached was thrown out trying to steal. Here's the leg kick, the 2-2. He got him. Well, he didn't. It was just trickled foul. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cardullo waiting on deck. Nigro in there battling. Anderson unofficially at 43 pitches for the game. He rears back, brings it home. That's punched foul, and Nigro won't give up. Still 2 and 2. Barnstormers fell in game 1. A wild game around what was officially a 1 hour, 43-minute rain delay. The game itself took 2:46, which is extraordinarily long for a 7-inning contest. 2 and 2 to Nigro. Breaking ball, and that's nailed foul. And Anderson and Parker Morin have to come up with plan G here. Nigro is being incredibly stubborn out of that number 9 hole. Anderson goes back to work. The motion in the 2-2 pitch. Fastball is inside. Nigro's on the verge of turning this into a walk. And at the very minimum, he has used up his fair share of John Anderson's arm. Payoff pitch coming. Morin sets the target. Anderson kicks, brings home the 3-2. It's popped up on the right side. Darian Sanford patrolling over there. He will put that away. Anderson has a fairly lengthy 3-batter inning, but a 1-2-3 inning nonetheless. We're through 2.5 here at Clipper Magazine Stadium in Game 2. The Barnstormers and the High Point Rockers remain scoreless.
There's a new force in town. Know any young baseball fans? Make sure they're a part of the Storm Force Kids Club presented by Commonwealth Charter Academy. For only $25, kids receive 12 field box tickets. To go with the tickets, the Storm Force members will get a backpack, a t-shirt, an invitation to Silo's birthday party, and a chance to meet Barnstormer players over a bowl of ice cream, plus a lot more. What's better than that? Sign up at LancasterBarnstormers.com or stop by the stadium to get those kids involved.
Picking one thing over the other can be hard.
Toast or avocado toast?
Ooh, 4 or 5-inch heels.
But with pick games from the Pennsylvania Lottery, drawn twice daily, picking's as easy as 2, 3, 4, or 5. Plus, add Wild Ball to any pick game for even more chances to win. It's simple.
Hey, what'll it be? Give me a pick 2, please. Oh, and add Wild Ball. I'm feeling pretty lucky.
Play pick games today from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
We go to the bottom of the third inning at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Lucas Irvin to face Darian Sanford, Michael Martinez, and Caleb Gindel. Scoreless ball game. The only hit belongs to Quincy Lattimore, and it didn't leave the infield. Here is Sanford. Darian 0 for 3 in game 1, hitless for the 6th straight ball game. Here he swings and drives it out to right field. Retreating, though, is Almodovar. He'll make the play on the warning track for out number 1. Sanford teed off on it, but it came up a little bit short, 1 away. Generally, outfielders don't play that far back against Darian, but Almodovar, for some reason, was there, and there's 1 out. Michael Martinez coming in. Martinez popped up back in the first inning. Irvin, the man the Barnstormers have beaten a couple of times this year, certainly gotten to for a lot of runs, has not allowed a base hit. He has walked 2 and struck out 3. Inside for a ball to Martinez, 1-0. The next offering bounces away from the catcher Nigro, and fans start to encourage Martinez to run. Those who have picked up on the new rule. Instead, a 2-ball, no strike count, 1 out here in the third inning. The wind by Irvin, the pitch. That is scalded into right field. A 1-out single. The Barnstormers with their first base hit. Martinez in game 1 had gone 0 for 4 and had struck out 3 times, so he has his first hit in the doubleheader. Caleb Gindel will step in. He walked back in the first inning. Elsewhere in the Atlantic League tonight, Southern Maryland now 4-0 in the second half, outlasting New Britain 3-2. Tommy Thorpe over Rainey Lara. Matt Latos saved his 10th. 12-7, Somerset over York. Swinging a foul ball back by Gindel for a strike. It is 0-1. Vince Molesky over Patrick Young. And Sugarland with Matt Perk throwing shutout baseball defeats the Long Island Ducks 4-0. Second half races may not be quite taking shape yet. Barnstormers looking to jump into a race. Fastball is outside. It is 1-1. Lancaster pretty much got knocked out of the first half, getting swept by Sugarland here on the second homestand. They never recovered from that. 1 ball, 1 strike to count to Gindel. Martinez leads off first base. Irvin to the set. The pitch to Caleb is fouled away. Make it 1-2. Joe Turdoslavich waits on deck. The Major League scoreboard busy tonight as well. We'll get to that for the first time. Games in progress. The Giants and the Rockies are in the 10th, knotted at 4. A's 5, Mariners 1. They're only at the end of 5 innings of play. To Gindel, 1-2, breaking ball, bounced toward first, taken in fair territory by Cardullo. Everybody was asking Buzz Albert for a signal. He called it fair. 3 unassisted. Martinez ahead to second. It's been a long night for those guys, too. And Joe Turdoslavich now in charge of driving in the run. The LA Angels are up 6-1 over the Astros. Play is in the bottom of the 4th. Everything else appears to be final. The Washington Nationals clubbed the Baltimore Orioles tonight, 8-1 in the Battle of the Beltways. Phillies outlasted the Dodgers 9-8. big game. Bryce Harper, home run, double, drove in 5. That ball is blasted to center, but it's going to hang. And back goes Schroeder to make the catch. Terdoslavich retired. Here in game 2, the ball doesn't seem to be going anywhere. No runs on a hit, no errors, and a man left. We're through 3 in game 2, and there is no score.
Don't strike out when in need of new appliances for your home. Come to Gockenauer's in East Petersburg and see what buying from a hometown dealer is all about. We offer the best brands at the best prices, plus deliver, install, and service everything we sell. Don't get burned by another chain store taking your money and then going out of business. Come to the place who has been helping Leicester County for 70 years. Your hometown dealer making the best brands better. Gockenauer's in East Petersburg.
Lancaster Bible College has been around since 1933, but did you know that they offer degrees in much more than just Bible? LBC offers degrees in criminal justice, business, professional counseling, and more, as well as graduate and seminary degrees in areas like Christian care, chaplaincy, education, and leadership studies. To learn more about LBC and the programs they offer, visit lbc.edu. That's lbc.edu.
No runs on 1 hit, no errors, 3 left for the Barnstormers. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left for the High Point Rockers, rather. We go to the 4th inning. Stephen Cardullo will lead it off. John Anderson struck him out the first time through. Other Major League games played this evening. The Yankees bopped the Tampa Bay Rays 8-3. Aaron Judge back doing Aaron Judge things. Called strike across the letters, 0-1 on Cardullo. Toronto slammed Boston 10-4. Cleveland Indians had a 1-hit shutout, 8-0 over the Tigers. Up and in for a ball. Cardullo bats at 1-1. Elsewhere, the Marlins outslugged the San Diego Padres 12-7. Cubs over the Reds in 10 innings, 4-3. Arizona 9, Texas 2, a final score. Joey Gallo with his 22nd. Pop fly, foul back this way. Cardullo had a ball and 2 strikes. Milwaukee trashed Atlanta, 13-1 was the final score. Christian Yelich with his 33rd. That's over the Twins, 3-2. Pittsburgh defeated St. Louis, 3-1. And the Royals win big, 11-0. By the way, Cam Gallagher now the starting catcher in Kansas City. Congrats to him. Swing and a miss. 4th strikeout for Anderson. Here is Miles Schroeder stepping in. Schroeder struck out back in the 1st inning. I know that Austin has to be very proud of his brother. One-time Barnstormer first baseman and local product. First pitch off speed, swing and a miss by Schroeder. It's 0-1. John Anderson is pitching a gem of a ball game here. No balls, 1 strike to Schroeder. Next offering, he swings over the top of that. It's 0-2. Anderson's off-speed stuff is, I think, about as good as I've ever seen it. And he's had some terrific outings for the Barnstormers here the last 3 years. Schroeder bats 0-2. The motion and the pitch. This is a fastball line and past Sanford, a base hit on the 2-strike delivery. Schroeder has the 2nd base hit for the Rockers in the game. Throw coming back into the infield. Schroeder stays at first base. Tyler Ladendorf will come to the plate. Ladendorf fly to left back in the first inning. High Point has hit very few ground balls along the way tonight. Darian Sanford got to handle a couple toward the end of the first game. Ladendorf batting with one out. Schroeder, the runner at first base. Second hit for the High Point Rockers. Anderson will fire. That is high off the glove of Morin, and on to second goes Schroeder. We'll check the ruling on the play. My guess is wild pitch. And don't sit next to the official scorer anymore, so I'm incommunicado. I have to check the official online log, and it's not posted yet. But in any event, there's a runner in scoring position. Ladendorf bats 1-0. Anderson to the plate, delivers a strike to the outer edge. And we get the 1-1. And wild pitch is, in fact, the ruling. Joel Schreiner had to leave by the end of the rain delay. Joey Greer's been scoring the rest of the night. It's a work night for everybody. And part of our press box staff, Joel Schreiner, Tom Richards, I've mentioned that they work the morning shift in the media. Joel's the producer of the GAL Morning News. Tom Richards, production manager at Hall Radio. 2 balls, 1 strike to Tyler Ladendorf. Runner leads off second. The pitch is pulled out the left field, sinking in a hurry. On comes Applin. He's got to take it on a bounce. That is back-to-back hits for the High Point Rockers. And runners are at the corners with 1 out. Quincy Lattimore stepping in.
Number 22, Quincy Lattimore.
Barnstormers need a double play, but now Ladendorf has that option to go early on Anderson. Ladendorf stole a couple of bases in game 1, so how long will that double play be in order? For the first time here in game 2, one of these ball clubs has a bona fide threat. Anderson was cruising until he gave up the 0-2 base hit to Schroeder, and now huge trouble in the top of the 4th inning. Anderson does step off and checks Ladendorf. But everything these left-handed pitchers have learned about holding base runners, they now have to put away and try something entirely different. Anderson to the plate. This is popped up to shallow left field. Should be a huge second out. Backpedaling Martinez. He makes the catch. Bluffing off third is Schroeder. 2 outs in the inning, and it will leave it up to the third baseman, Gomez. Gomez lined to the center fielder, Torrance, back in the 2nd inning. Torrance was playing far back and toward left center field. He was positioned perfectly to handle that blast off the bat of Gomez. 2 outs with the runners at first and third. We'll see if Ladendorf takes off at any point here. The Barnstormers with Hobson, Golson, and Applin scheduled in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Irvin and Anderson going at it here in game 2. The pitch to Gomez, beautifully onto the outside corner. Anderson's ahead 0-1. Barnstormers will send Jonathan Albaladejo to the mound tomorrow night against Dominic DeMasi. Buddy Bauman on Thursday against Tyler Herron. There goes Ladendorf, a check swing. Morin decides to hold the ball. And Ladendorf in with the stolen base. 2nd and 3rd now with 2 outs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Left-handed batting via Sergi Rosa is on deck. And the Barnstormers, even with the count of 1-1, are going to walk Gomez intentionally to load the bases and bring Rosa up. Rosa fly to center field back in the 2nd inning. Rosa homered off of Nate Reed in game 1. He was 1 for 4 overall, 1 for 3 against the lefties. At overall 6 out of 42 against left-handed pitching. Breaking ball in the dirt. It is 1-0 on Rosa. Bases are loaded, 2 outs. Delicate moment for John Anderson. He needs this out. It certainly, at this point, does not look like we're going to see a tremendous number of runs in this second game. 1 ball, no strikes to Rosa. Schroeder at third, Leidendorf at second, Gomez aboard at first. The pitch smashed and down the third base line past Turdoslavich. It will drive in 2 with a single by Sergi Rosa going the other way, and the Rockers have taken a 2-0 lead. Turdoslavich was playing in and off the line, and Rosa found the third base strike. 2 runs on 3 hits in the inning off of Anderson. Intentionally walking Gomez doesn't pay off. Breland Almadova will come to the plate. Almadova fly to left, back in the third inning, leading off. Figures Anderson was coasting until I said something, and this inning has gone awry. 2-0 in favor of the Rockers, with Gomez at second, Rosa on at first base. Here is Almadova, and it is upstairs for a ball, 1-0. And I would have walked Gomez in that situation every time. They have a left-hander against Rosa, but that's the way things are working here in 2019. 1 ball, no strikes to Almadova. Anderson ready to go. The pitch onto the outside corner. It's 1-1. The Rockers have out-hit the Barnstormers here in the second game, 4-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, 2 on. John Anderson steps off the rubber. Next pitch, tapped foul at the plate, and Anderson's ahead at 1-2. The only walk is intentional. This can be such a tough lineup to get through. The one guy prior to tonight that the Barnstormers have had a lot of success with was Rosa, and he now has knocked in 4 runs in the doubleheader. Almadova waits the 1-2. The pitch is bounced, knocked down by Morin, taking off for third, drawing the throw is Gomez. He makes it. It'll be the second wild pitch of the inning. And now they are at the corners, 2-2 on Almadova. Rosa stayed at first throughout that last play. So here's the 2-2. Bouncing ball left side. Turdoslavich cuts it off, fires a strike across the diamond. It'll end it. But for the High Point Rockers, 2 runs in the inning on 3 hits. No Barnstormers errors. 2 runners are stranded. We'll head to the bottom half of the 4th inning. It is the High Point Rockers 2 and the Lancaster Barnstormers nothing.
The National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum is a place with thousands of stories to be told. It's a place to relive baseball's greatest moments and share them with future generations. It's a place to experience the game and how it has shaped our history. Cooperstown is a destination with something for the entire family. Our stories to tell, your memories to share. Plan your trip to the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown at baseballhall.org.
Enjoy baseball and dinner package weeknights at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Monday nights feature an all-you-can-eat pig roast in the Haller Pavilion, courtesy of Hess's Barbecue. Tuesday night is all-you-can-eat chicken and ribs in the pavilion, or all-you-can-eat tacos in the Bobby Rahal Lexus Suite. Wednesday nights are Wiener Wednesdays with $1 Burke's hot dogs from the main concession stands or all-you-can-eat wings from Joe's Wings and Wieners upstairs. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. And we'll see you at the ballpark.
June 12th was 34 days ago. That was the day when Lucas Irvin made his final appearance as a Sugarland Skeeter and gave up 9 walks in 3 innings. Was charged with 9 runs, 7 earned tonight. He's been stellar in his High Point Rockers debut. Casey Hobson leads off the Barnstormers' 4th, swinging and missing. It is no balls and a strike. Hobson, a strikeout victim, back in the 1st inning. High Point 2, Lancaster nothing after the 2-out, 2-run single by Sergi Rosa in the top of the frame. Next pitch to Hobson, breaking ball in the dirt. The count levels at 1-1. Irvin has walked 2. He has struck out 3. He's allowed 1 base hit. Michael Martinez with that. Some other well-hit balls, but nothing falling in for the Barnstormers. High pop fly by Hobson. He'll chuck the bat away. The shortstop, Alfonso, is there in shallow center field to pack it away. 1 gone. Greg Golson stepping in. Golson lined to right field back in the 2nd inning on a ball that Almadova had to reroute to catch. Made the grab below knee level. Now Irvin is sailing along. The Barnstormers, after falling behind 9-1 in the opener, were able to recover and put 8 runs on the board, but now in the close, low-scoring ball game, they haven't been able to get a big hit. Ball 1 is outside, 1-0 on Golson, and this was the way it went the entire weekend against Southern Maryland. Ball 1-0 to Golson, and Irvin fires high to make it 2-0. Andrew Applin, who's had a pretty decent doubleheader, waits on deck. Here's the 2-0. Golson cuts and fouls that back. 2 balls and 1 strike. Ross still really doesn't display his hand very much as to what he is thinking about this season. It has to hurt him. You have to know how competitive Ross Peoples is. 3-1 now, outside and low to Golson. Chance for Greg to reach base. Irvin kicks, fires, and it is ball 4 just below the knees. It's the 3rd walk issued by the right-hander. Applin will step in and with 1 swing could tie it up. He drove 1 off the tents in the 5th inning of the opener. Walked his first time in this game. Golson is on. We'll see if he decides to be on the run. The Barnstormers trail by 2 here in the nightcap. Irvin to the high set. Golson not going, and Applin pops the pitch up. The second baseman is Ladendorf. He makes the catch. Leaves the inning to Parker Morin, who struck out looking back in the 2nd. The Barnstormers have had a base runner on in each inning so far. They have not been able to get a runner as far as 3rd base to this stage of the ball game. Golson at first with 2 gone as Morin stands in. Golson out to the lead. Here's the set, the pitch, fouled away. No balls and a strike.
That ball was presented by Ralph Wilhelms fouling.
Devon Torrance in the on-deck circle. The Barnstormers trying to get something shaken loose here. Down by a pair in the bottom of the 4th, game 2, a game that started after 11 o'clock. And Here we are playing baseball after midnight. Morin with a pop fly to shallow left. Gomez going back. Alfonso cuts in behind him, makes the catch. All 3 outs on pop-ups here in the bottom of the 4th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. Again, the Barnstormers leave 1 aboard. And at the end of 4 in the nightcap, High Point 2, Lancaster nothing.
Just like a baseball team needs pitchers, sluggers, relievers, and coaches to win games, a fire company needs firefighters, drivers, fire police officers, and administrative help to be successful. Fire companies need to function as a well-oiled team too, through training, preparing, and working together like a team. When an emergency occurs, your local fire company responds to help save lives and property. Maybe it's time you stepped up to bat and offered to hit a home run for your community. Go to becomeafirefighter.org and sign up. You won't regret taking a swing for the fences. Join the fire service team.
The constant energy, the tight turns and bustle of the city. Some survive it, others were made to conquer it. The first ever Lexus UX and UX F-Sport crossovers, crafted for the new frontier. UX, starting at $32,000. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
MSRP excludes delivery, processing, and handling fee of $1,025, which may be subject to change at any time. Excludes taxes, title, license, and optional equipment. Dealer price will vary.
We go to the top of the 5th inning. Giovanni Alfonso, Frank Nigro, and Stephen Cardullo, the scheduled hitters for the High Point Rockers. They lead it 2-0. They're trying to go to 10-2 against the Barnstormers on the season. 6-1 at BB&T Point, 4-1 here. Lancaster has only 1 trip left to North Carolina this year. It's a short one, a 2-day stay in September on a Wednesday and Thursday after having both Monday and Tuesday off of that week. It follows a 4-game, 3-day trip to New Britain. Ball 1 is low on Alfonso here, 1-0. Giovanni, a strikeout victim, back in the 3rd inning. One of the 4 for Anderson here in game 2. The motion and a 1-0 pitch. Popped up foul. It will carry out a play on the right side as we go to a ball and a strike here. Rain delay of 1 hour and 43 minutes officially. In the midst of game 1, it hit in the top of the 3rd. Swing and a miss, 1-2. It was never a really bad storm by any stretch of the imagination, but it was enough for play to be halted. Had a couple of bolts of lightning in the area. 1-2 pitch, fouled at the plate, got down in the dirt before Morin could do anything about it. 1 ball, 2 strikes continuing. So it is a very late night at Clipper Magazine Stadium. 1-2 pitch, fouled, and Alfonso got himself in the foot with that one. Well, he'll be hobbling for a moment. It's taking him a while even to get up off of all 4s here. Finally collects himself and does. And he's going to walk that one off. It's Smarts. One ball, 2 strikes to the leadoff batter in the 5th inning. There's some fairly significant weather entering northwestern Pennsylvania. I suppose that could get here by the wee hours of the morning, but nothing to concern ourselves with during the game. It looks like there are a few light patches of showers out and about. Alfonso takes a couple of practice swings, says he's all right and just about ready to get back in there. He shoos the trainer back to the dugout. by the end of a baseball season, and once you get to August and September, everybody is incredibly banged up. 1-2 to Alfonso. John Anderson will deliver, and it's scalded to third. Picked up by Turdoslavich, and a perfect throw. Put a star by that one in the scorebook. Alfonso cut down, coming back off, fouling a ball off his foot, getting a good swing in. Testing Turdoslavich over at third. Joe with a diving stop to his left, getting back up and hosing down Alfonso. One away. The catcher, Nigro, will step in. He popped up back in the third inning after a long at bat. One out, nobody on, top half of the fifth. John Anderson into the motion. His fastball is upstairs. Ball one, no strikes. Again, the only walk intentional. There were 2 wild pitches last inning, 3 singles. Stolen base, swing and a foul tip. It's 1-1 on Nigro. Steven Cardullo waits on deck. The Barnstormers have 3 shots left at Luke Irvin in the bullpen. What a turnaround that this is for Luke Irvin. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fastball is high, 2-1 from Anderson. 7 o'clock tomorrow night, a single game. We'll be back on Blue Ridge 11. And everybody there had to call it a night. Foul ball back to the screen. It's 2-2. It was a mad scramble to retool between games of the doubleheader. All the Blue Ridge stuff is shoved off to one side, and I had to get their audio gear that I carry with me on the road and hook up to Ryan Cortazzo's video here at the ballpark. Set and ready to go in no time flat. Nigro awaits the 3-2 from Anderson. The payoff is strike 3 at the knees. Anderson with his 5th. That brings on Cardullo, who has struck out twice.
Heating and cooling technicians are ready to help you stay cool this summer. Contact SAP Energy today.
2 down. Base is empty with Cardullo coming in.
The first baseman, Steven Cardullo.
El Baladeo tomorrow. Buddy Bauman goes Thursday. Kyle Davies will start the opener at Long Island on Friday, and game 2 is going to have to be a bullpen game. The rotation is compressed again. Swing and a miss. It's 0-1. I am certainly wondering about the wisdom of scheduling these doubleheaders as the Barnstormers have. High Point could have easily just played a single game here last night. They were already in York, and they stayed over the last couple of days. They've been enjoying the hospitality of the Heritage Hotel in Loxley's. 2 outs, bases cleared. Cardullo batting 0-2. Anderson rocks back, ready to go, and it's snubbed foul. Cardullo keeps his turn at the plate going. Torrance, Sanford, and Martinez scheduled in the bottom half of the 5th inning against Irvin. And the Barnstormers busted loose in game 1. They hit the 3 home runs. Gindel added a double. So it's the second time now that the Barnstormers have had 4 extra base hits in a game since the first game of the doubleheader before the All-Star break against York. Inside, spinning Cardullo around. It's 1-2. And in all the other games since then, the Barnstormers have gone dry. No extra base hits. Well, this would be, if it continues, the 5th out of the last 7 in which the Barnstormers have not had a double, triple, or home run. Ball 2 is low. Cardullo has worked it to 2 balls and 2 strikes here in the top half of the 5th inning. 2-zip High Point, 2 outs, bases empty. Not a lot of energy in the ballpark despite the best efforts of the crew here. And Anderson's 2-2 arches outside for ball 3. Cardullo has gotten it to a full count with Miles Schroeder waiting on deck. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 gone. Anderson rears back, brings home the payoff, and he walked him. That is what they would call in tennis an unforced error. Anderson was ahead 0-2 and walked him, I believe, on the last 4 pitches. Schroeder steps in, 1 for 2. Singleton scored a run back in the 4th inning. 2 runs in the 4th, scored on the 2-out single by Rosa. Leidendorf's stolen base forced the Barnstormers' hand. They walked Gomez to get to Rosa, a left-handed batter against the lefty Anderson. It didn't work. Schroeder takes a pitch out to left field. Applin misjudged it initially. He's able to scoot back, though, and make the catch to end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on by the High Point Rockers. We're going to take ourselves now to the bottom half of the 5th inning with the scoreboard reading. The High Point Rockers 2 and the Lancaster Barnstormers nothing.
The team at Inches, along with a dedicated professional designer.
The National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum is a place with thousands of stories to be told. It's a place to relive baseball's greatest moments and share them with future generations. It's a place to experience the game and how it has shaped our history. Cooperstown is a destination with something for the entire family. Our stories to tell, your memories to share. Plan your trip to the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown at baseballhall.org.
Enjoy baseball and dinner package weeknights at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Monday nights feature an all-you-can-eat pig roast in the Haller Pavilion, courtesy of Hess's Barbecue. Tuesday night is all-you-can-eat chicken and ribs in the pavilion, or all-you-can-eat tacos in the Bobby Rahal Lexus Suite. Wednesday nights are Wiener Wednesdays with $1 Burke's hot dogs from the main concession stands, or all-you-can-eat wings from Joe's Wings and Wieners upstairs. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. And we'll see you at the ballpark.
Here's Devon Torrance to lead off the 5th inning for the Barnstormers. He went down looking at a called 3rd strike against Luke Irvin back in the 2nd. The slender right-hander, the Midwesterner, delivers. Torrance shortens the bunt and takes a ball. It is 1-0. Lancaster still within easy reach, down by just 2 in the bottom of the 5th inning. But they haven't been able to stack runners at all or hit for any power. There's a bunt try, but it's popped up, and right there is Irvin to make the catch. 1 down here in the 5th inning. Darian Sanford to step in. Sanford, first time up in this game, torched a ball toward the wall in right field. He came up a little bit short. Sanford is mired in the throes of a very bad slump right now. He is 0 for 4 in the doubleheader, and if he doesn't get a base hit here, it would be his 7th consecutive hitless game. He is 0 for his last 21. The pitch to Darian, swinging a foul back, down a strike. It is 0-1. He's had very few, if any, opportunities to bat right-handed in this stretch, and over the years we have known that Darian can grow cold from the left side of the plate. He's down a strike against Irvin. The next delivery, he shows bunt and takes ball 1 inside and low. It's a ball and a strike. Michael Martinez, the shortstop, waiting on deck. 2-0 High Point in the bottom of the 5th inning. A left-hander is getting ready in the Rockers bullpen, and that is probably Tolliver by the looks of it. Ball 2 is inside and low. 2 balls and a strike. They used Clark and Hutchinson in game one. Hutchinson earning the win with 2 shutout innings at the end. 2-1. Sanford, sharp ground ball, a base hit. The drought is over. A single into right for Darian Sanford. And we'll see what he might be up to on the bases. Once again, the third time he has reached since the All-Star break. He stole second, he stole third. He leads the league with 35, and I was just informed that Sugar Land let Jared Mitchell go. Mitchell had been second all along, so unless Rico Noel happens to catch up to Sanford. Again, don't ask me what he's doing in Sugar Land. I don't know. To Martinez, big swing and a miss against Irvin. No balls and a strike. Well, the Barnstormers, for the 5th consecutive inning, have a runner on. Sanford didn't budge on that first pitch. Martinez batting with Caleb Gindel waiting on deck. 2-0 High Point in the lower half of inning 5. Sanford out to a lead, held by Cardulo. High set by Irvin. The pitch is upstairs to Martinez. It is 1-1. Ross Peoples coaching third. Josh Bell over at first base. We're seeing less and less of Josh on the field and more in the coach's box and in the dugout. 1-1. Sanford goes. Martinez with a liner out the center field. Sanford's going to have to scramble to get back. Here's the throw. It's not in time for the double play as Martinez lines out to Schroeder on the hit and run. 2 outs in the inning, and Caleb Gindel will come to the plate. As I say, nothing is working. The Barnstormers, when they need a run or two, cannot seem to make a play. And we're going to have a pitching change. Luke Irvin has done the job, but he's going to be 1 out short of being eligible for the win tonight. So how about that? But the game is on the line, and High Point smells second half blood and perhaps ending the run of Long Island versus Somerset series in the first round of the playoffs. So they've got a lefty coming in. Irvin has certainly done a commendable job here tonight. And with the pitching change in progress, we're going to take a break and pause for this.
The tight turns and bustle of the city. Some survive it, others were made to conquer it. The first ever Lexus UX and UX F-Sport crossovers are crafted for those who were made for the city. UX, starting at $32,000. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
MSRP excludes delivery, processing, and handling fee of $1,025, which may be subject to change at any time. Excludes taxes, title, license, and optional equipment. Dealer price will vary.
At Clipper Magazine Stadium, we have hot dogs and popcorn, peanuts, soda, and nachos. But what if, say, you are only 3 months old and mom wants to have a night out and watch the Barnstormers? Well, thanks to May Grant Obstetrics and Gynecology, the littlest of Stormer fans now have a place to go for dinner during the game. Tots can take mom to the Little Sluggers dugout behind Section 13 at the stadium for a comfortable private feeding experience. A brightly painted room with comfortable furniture and TVs tuned to the game, it is the perfect spot for baby and mom during a night at the ballpark.
Asher Tolliver, the left-hander, is taken over for Luke Irvin. 2 outs and a runner at first base in the bottom of the 5th inning. Caleb Gindel will step in as the possible tying run. Gindel with a home run and a double in game 1. This time around he has walked and bounced out to the first baseman Cardulo. Darian Sanford, the base runner, out to his usual long lead. We'll see if he takes off on the lefty. Tolliver works out of the set. There goes Sanford, and Gindel pops up the pitch. Over goes Gomez, still going, and he won't have a play on it. Caleb Gindel down a strike against Tolliver and probably denied Sanford a stolen base. He had a huge jump, but the Barnstormers are trying not just for 1 run here, they're trying for multiple runs. Gindel down a strike at 0-1. Caleb has boosted his average to 300 on the season. And right now, you certainly have to consider him to be the MVP of this ball club. I don't even think you could go anywhere else. There's a quick step-off move and throw to first to counter Sanford. And that's the one thing you have to do is pull the back foot from the rubber. But as soon as you go to make a delivery to the plate, the runner can go. There's a sidearm throw to first, and Sanford is back in. And I think part of the reason they went to Tolliver was simply to try and control Darian as much as anything else. There's a quicker throw to first. Is he able to step off with that back foot? But it's the only thing you can do, and the base runners are going to read that. Sanford gets a timeout to re-garden things over at first base to his leading spot. No balls, one strike to Gindel. A lot of the attention over at first base. This is trying to send a message to Sanford for future games, not necessarily here. And there's throw number 4, and he's back in. High Point thought that they had him. Tolliver has a pretty good step-off move. It's the only thing he can do, and everybody's going to be trying to copy this from now on. One strike to Gindel. There goes Sanford. The pitch is high and inside, and they have no play on him. Darian at least wins the battle. He has his third stolen base of the doubleheader. And now signs will be discussed. Caleb Gindel batting at 1-1 with Sanford at second and 2 outs. Now there's no reason for him to try and steal third. There really isn't. Caleb Gindel batting at a ball and a strike. Joe Turdoslavich in the on-deck circle. He would bat right-handed against Tolliver. The 1-1 fastball is upstairs. Gindel batting at 2 balls and a strike. All 11 of Caleb's home runs this year have come here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. He's come awfully close on the road going to the opposite field several times. 2-1 pitch. That's high as well. 3 balls and a strike. Tolliver has not been as sharp recently as he had been earlier in the year when the Barnstormers were last in North Carolina. He was 6-0. He won his 6th in that series. He comes in here 6-1. His ERA had been down below 1. It's 1.84 coming into tonight. 3 balls and a strike to Gindel. Sanford belongs to Irvin. He's the runner at second base. He's taking off for third. The pitch is slammed deep toward left center field, but it will hang up. Lattimore is back to make the catch for the final out. And the Barnstormers are turned away once again. No runs, a hit, no errors. For the 5th consecutive inning, they leave a runner on. 3rd time that runner has been marooned at second. We'll go to the 6th inning. High Point leads it 2-0.
Just like a baseball team needs pitchers, sluggers, relievers, and coaches to win games, a fire company needs firefighters, drivers, fire police officers, and administrative help to be successful. Fire companies need to function as a well-oiled team too, through training, preparing, and working together like a team. When an emergency occurs, your local fire company responds to help save lives and property. Maybe it's time you stepped up to bat and offered to hit a home run for your community. Go to becomeafirefighter.org and sign up. You won't regret taking a swing for the fences. Join the fire service team.
The constant energy, the tight turns and bustle of the city. Some survive it, others were made to conquer it. The first ever Lexus UX and UX F-Sport crossovers, crafted for the new frontier. UX, starting at $32,000. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
MSRP excludes delivery, processing, and handling fee of $1,025, which may be subject to change at any time. Excludes taxes, title, license, and optional equipment. Dealer price will vary.
2-0. We go to the top of the 6th inning. Tyler Ladendorf will lead off for the High Point Rockers. 1 out of 2 with a run scored. John Anderson through 5 innings, and he is largely, except for one glitch, kept this powerful High Point lineup under wraps. A 2-run single for Sergi Rosa down the third baseline. Right now, the deciding blow in this game. Good-looking pitch, breaking ball for a strike. Anderson has allowed 4 hits. They've all been singles, 2 walks. 1 was intentional. Popped up out of the reach of Parker Morin. Off the field of play, and in fact to the upper level of the stadium. Ladendorf trails 0-2. Tradoslavich, Hobson, Golson in the bottom of the 6th inning against Tolliver. Nobody else throwing in the High Point bullpen. Here comes the 0-2. Knocked foul off to the right and out of play. Barnstormers in game 1 used Nate Reed, Jared Lakin, and Garrett Granitz. Granitz was very effective for his 2 innings of work. The 0-2 pitch, fastball busted in high, ball 1 on Ladendorf. It is 1-2. John Anderson comes back. There's a line drive. That is fair down the left field line, headed for the corner. Ladendorf had 3 doubles in game 1, and he's going to cruise into second with his first here in game 2. He has had 6 hits in the doubleheader, 6 out of 8. And an insurance run is in scoring position with nobody out for Quincy Lattimore. Lattimore is 1 for 2. Darian Sanford is going to play as close to the middle as is allowed here against Lattimore. Anderson to the plate. It's over but low. Ball 1 and no strikes. The Barnstormers have given up an awful lot of 2-strike hits in this doubleheader. Don't have the exact number out of the 22 hits total for High Point, but I guarantee a lot of them have come with 2 strikes in the count. It all started when Cardullo barely fouled off a 2-2 pitch against Nate Reed and then hit a home run as the first batter of the night. 2-0 now on Lattimore. Hector Gomez, the third baseman, is scheduled to bat next. 2 balls and nothing. Anderson looks back to Ladendorf. Here's the pitch. Fastball outside, 3-0. And hopefully it doesn't really unravel here in the 6th inning. The Barnstormers have action started in the bullpen. It looks like maybe Pedro Echemendia loosening up out there. 3 balls, no strikes. Anderson delivers, and that ball is pounded foul as Lattimore had the green light. He hooked it down the left field line out toward the carousel, which has been shut off for the morning. 3-1. I'm trying to remember if the Barnstormers have ever played beyond this hour. I know we went to about 12:35 against Bridgeport in a 17-inning game back in 2010. Foul ball back, it's 3-2. But I don't know if a Barnstormers game has ever gotten to, say, 1 o'clock in the morning. I don't recall that ever happening. 3-2 to Lattimore. Off second base is Ladendorf. John Anderson ready to go. The payoff pitch is ball 4 low. Runners are at first and second for Gomez. Anderson has walked his third. Keep an eye on Ross Peoples, and he's on his way. Anderson will be replaced. He gets through 5+ innings. He had a gem working for 3 1/3. Now he will be taken out. A right-hander coming in. We're going to have the pitching change, and we will listen to this good stuff.
Tuxedo Tour and Travel, your go-to motor coach bus company. Supplying your motor coach needs from day trips to multi-day excursions. Trips to New York, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., San Francisco, and all points in between. We can provide you with an itinerary or fulfill all your trips' transportation needs, providing casino trips monthly. Go to www.tuxedotour.com or give us a call at 717-269-3124.
Picking one thing over the other can be hard.
Toast or avocado toast?
Ooh, 4 or 5-inch heels.
But with pick games from the Pennsylvania Lottery, drawn twice daily, picking's as easy as 2, 3, 4, or 5. Plus, add Wild Ball to any pick game for even more chances to win. It's simple.
Hey, what'll it be? Give me a pick 2, please. Oh, and add Wild Ball. I'm feeling pretty lucky.
Play pick games today from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Hector Gomez to face Pedro Echemendia. Runners are at first and second with nobody out here in the sixth inning. Pedro has done well since joining the Barnstormers in late June. Former St. Louis Cardinals farmhand. Echemendia, 1-0, his ERA 1.04. It tries to strand the two base runners. His first pitch, a breaking ball into the dirt. It is ball 1 and no strikes. Leidendorf at second. Lattimore, the runner, at first base. We're in the top half of the sixth inning in the nightcap. 6 hours, 36 minutes ago, play started in this doubleheader. We, by the looks of things, even without the rain delay, would have gone past 11 o'clock, and that was almost a given. A strike to Gomez. It is 1-1. But unless play proceeds very, very quickly, we're going to reach 1 in the morning. Leidendorf at second. Lattimore is at first. I've had people asking me if we have a time restriction. And generally, ballparks in cities do, but I have never been informed, and it's never really come up, except for fireworks, of course. We do have the 11 o'clock curfew on fireworks, but in terms of a ball game going on, I'm not aware of one. In on the hands and fouled away by Gomez. 1 ball and 2 strikes on the native of the Dominican Republic, who's been an outstanding player all the way around for the Rockers this season. He has the Vladimir Frias Angeles Nina type hairstyle. Lancaster Station looking for a double play. Runners take their leads. It's 1-2 on Gomez. Echemendia peering in, getting the sign from Parker Morin, and then straddling the rubber here momentarily. Pedro back on the slab. Still a long look into Morin. Right-hander comes to the set. And now the pitch. Strike 3 on a fastball that buzzed the inside corner. Gomez goes down looking. Echemendia gets 1 out. Now here's Vera Sergei Rosa, who singled home the 2 runs back in the 4th.
Designated hitter Vera Sergei Rosa.
Echemendia trying to get John Anderson, his predecessor, out of the thickets here in the 6th inning. Pedro has been a bright spot here as of late. Rosa digging in against him. Tall and lanky first baseman. He's been the DH both ends of the doubleheader tonight. Good looking breaking ball to start him off for the called strike. It is 0-1. Echemendia, a guy that Jonathan Albaladejo has known for a while. Cuban defector, which is far more common than it was back in the days of Orlando and Levon Hernandez. Ball one, strike one, the count on Rosa. It's almost as if the Cuban government now kind of looks the other way. There are a lot of natives of the island of Cuba, even in the Atlantic League right now. Ruby Silva, one of the others that comes to mind. 1 ball, 1 strike here. Bouncing ball to second, takes a high hop. Sanford stays with it out at second, but that's all they'll get. 4-6 on the force play. Rosa's safe on the fielder's choice. There might have been a chance for 2. It had not been for that extraordinarily high hop, but Sanford had to wait for the ball to come back down, and by then the double play chances were lost. And Echemendia will have to face a man from another island, far, far away from the island of Oahu. Breland Almodovar, he is 0 for 2. Batting with Leidendorf at third, Rosa now on at first base. 2 outs, runners at the corners. Echemendia comes to the set. Here's the pitch, down and away. Ball 1, no strikes on Almodovar. Giovanni Alfonso waits on deck. This is a crucial out. You get Almodovar. The Barnstormers will have dodged a bullet in the top of the 6th. There's still a base runner and a ball up onto the porch away from tying the game. 1 ball and no strikes. Echemendia again on the pitching rubber. Here comes the 1-0, way inside on Almodovar for ball 2. Chasing him out of the box. It is 2 balls and no strikes. Echemendia appearing in. He has the signal. And the 2-0, Almodovar lifts a foul off to the right. That will carry out a play. It is 2-1 now. Again, when you've got a guy of this capability on your bench most of the time, probably getting some more playing time now with an injury to Richie Schaefer. He's their big bopper. He's the biggest bopper they have out of all of them. And he's down on the injured list. Smashed to short. And a backhanded stop made by Martinez. Quick flip to Darian Sanford. It looked like the direction of that hop had Martinez fooled, but he stuck with it. It's a really nice play. No runs on a hit, no errors. Echemendia does a great job stranding the 2 inherited runners. We're going to go to the bottom of the 6th inning here in the nightcap with the score, the High Point Rockers 2 and the Lancaster Barnstormers nothing.
Remove the wrong piece and the whole structure might fall apart. No, I'm not talking about the Barnstormers lineup. I'm talking about the life-size Jenga game that is part of the Subaru outdoor experience down the right field line at Clipper Magazine Stadium. There's ping pong, huge dice to roll, and more. Trivia contests take place before every Saturday home game. Group bookings are available, so enjoy the games while at the game and come to the Subaru outdoor experience just below the Broken Bat deck.
Hi, this is Hall of Famer Carlton Fisk. Make your plans today to visit Cooperstown and the Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum.
There it goes, a long drive. If it stays fair, home run.
Reconnect with your memories of the game and make new memories with your family. Check out baseballhall.org today for more information.
Carlton Fisk had a lot of little boy in him right there, Joe.
The National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum, preserving history, honoring excellence, and connecting generations.
Coach Radoslavich is 0 for 2 in this ball game. He steps in to lead off the bottom of the sixth against the lefty reliever Asher Tolliver. Radoslavich has popped out and lined to center to go 0 for 2. Tolliver deals. That's grounded and a diving backhanded stop by Gomez. He'll get up and gun down Radoslavich. Put a star by that one in the scorebook. 1 out here in the sixth inning as Radoslavich is denied a double. Casey Hobson to the plate. Hobson has struck out and popped the short. He had a tremendous 3-run homer to right center field in game 1. All right, what a play by Gomez at 12:48 in the morning. And he has been in the entire doubleheader. First pitch, a breaking ball for a strike on the inside corner to Hobson. It's 0-1. Casey walks that one off for a second. 5 outs to go for the High Point Rockers. The Barnstormers have already been shut out twice here in the second half. Nothing in 1 to Casey. Tolliver deals. That is cut on and missed for his second strike. Greg Golson is the on-deck batter. 2 runs in the top half of the fourth. That has been it here in game 2. The bases loaded single to the opposite field by Sergi Rosa. Lancaster has not been able to answer. 0-2. Hobson waves at it, strike 3, and the tag is applied by the catcher Nigro. Tolliver has retired the 3 batters he has faced. Golson will give it a whirl. Greg is lined to right and walked. Tolliver will go to work against Golson. The pitch breaks across for a strike. It is 0-1. Andrew Applin, a lefty, waits on deck. Tolliver trying to keep his slate clean for the night. Irvin gave up 2 hits, walked 3, struck out 3. Good block made there by Nigro. Golson, a guy you'd almost expect to see take off in a situation like this to get the tying run to the plate. Give himself up statistically. It does count against you if you run. 1 ball, 1 strike. Popped up foul off to the right and out of play. Make it 1-2. Barnstormers haven't tried it yet. In fact, this is game 6 under the new rules for the Barnstormers, and we've only seen Tony Thomas go on a play that seemed frozen in time. Everybody looked around. New baseball handed to De La Rosa, and finally Thomas took off. 1-2 is off speed and wide of the plate. Golson alive with a count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. Alfonso, Nigro, and Cardullo scheduled in the top of the 7th inning. They'll get Echemendia. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Golson. The pitch cut on and missed. Tolliver with a 1-2-3 inning on just 9 pitches in the bottom half of the 6th. Nothing across for the Barnstormers. Will go to the 7th. It is 2-0.
craft beers? Well, the best place to be in Lancaster then is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right. Celebrate baseball or just a night with your friends at the Broken Bat Deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat features more than 20 local craft breweries and product from a local winery. Food is sold off a pub-style menu. And new for 2019, there will be a trivia contest every Saturday evening beginning at 5, hosted by Cheaters Never Prosper. So get together, hang out with your friends, make some new ones, and enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with the Barnstormers game.
Tuxedo Tour and Travel. If you want to be there, we'll get you there. New York, Washington, D.C. We service all casinos, day trips, or multi-day excursions. Lebanon's #1 tour bus company, providing monthly casino trips. Sands of Bethlehem, Resort of Atlantic City, Mohegan Sun of Pocono Downs. Go to www.tuxedotour.com or give us a call, 717-269-3124.
Giovanni Alfonso leads off the 7th inning for the High Point Rockers. Alfonso 0 for 2. He was robbed by Trdoslavich starting off the 5th inning. 2 runs, 5 hits, and no errors for the Rockers. There's a swing and a foul back. Strike 1. High Point is stranded 5. The Barnstormers, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and also 5 runners left on base. We're in the 7th. The Barnstormers with Applin, Morin, and Torrance scheduled in the bottom of the 7th inning, and Ross has an ample bench should he decide to pinch hit or pinch run. Foul ball back into the screen. Echemendia has Alfonso at 0-2. Really like Pedro Echemendia's stuff. I don't know how he will attract scouts if he throws hard enough as a right-handed reliever. Low 90s, but I don't know in this day and age if that's quite good enough. Trevor Frank, meanwhile, is warming up. He's the closer for the Rockers. Ball 1 is outside and low, 1-2 on Alfonso. Now, Lancaster has had, if that is in fact Frank, and I believe it is, Lancaster's had success against him. I'll see if that can continue into tonight. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Alfonso. And the pitch, ground ball rolled, and I mean rolled, right at Michael Martinez. Never really left the ground. 6-3 on the conversion, 1 away. Frank Nigro will step in. Nigro's 0 for 2. A commendable start for Anderson. I know a little disappointed about the 4th inning, but 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 5 strikeouts. Again, nothing stellar, but not bad. Good enough to win a large chunk of the time. Nigro can't hold on the pitch. That's a strike. An appeal down to first base. It's 0-1. Steven Cardullo waits on deck. Goes to the breaking ball again. Does Echemendia, but Nigro won't chase it this time. It is a ball and a strike. 7th inning of play, 1 out, nobody on. I can't see us not reaching 1 o'clock in the morning. Nigro fooled again. He's getting nothing but breaking pitches from Echemendia. It's 1-2. Now I wonder if Morin and Echemendia will just go to a powerful fastball in on the hands. Or do you try and get Nigro to fish again? 1 ball, 2 strikes here, 1 out in the 7th inning. The pitch, high fly ball chipped out to right field. This should be little trouble for Golson. It's not. Inside the strike, 2 outs. And it brings on Cardullo, who's 0 for 2 with a walk here in Game 2 after a 4-hit game in Game 1. Game 1 was all offense. Game 2 has certainly lagged behind in that department. The Barnstormers are 3 outs from dropping to 0-5 in the second half. First pitch fastball in there, strike 1 on Cardullo. 0-1 the count. Things obviously have got to start turning around quickly before this completely gets out of hand. Swing and a miss. Echemendia with a fastball to Cardullo. He's got him 0-2. 5 in a row set down by Pedro since he took over last inning. Working on a 6th ahead of Cardullo, 2 strikes. Here's the motion, and it's popped up on a bunt. That'll come all the way to the backstop. And again, he doesn't strike out under the new rules. Still 0-2 to Cardullo. So it's always worth the shot. You have to pay attention to that when you're on defense. You can't lay back with 2 strikes if the guy hasn't bunted with 2 strikes. Now he no longer can. 0-2 on Cardullo. Walked once and struck out twice here. Echemendia ready to go. Breaking ball slips past the outside corner. The Barnstormers ask for help from Buzz Albert. They won't get any on that end. Not a strike on either count to get out of this top half of the inning. Cardullo batting at 1-2. And it will be Golson, Applin, and Morin in the bottom half of the 7th inning. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Down low, 2-2. Cardullo battling here in the top half of inning 7. Torrance playing deep and around toward left center field. The Echemendia pitch is hit in that general neighborhood. And Devon knew what he was doing. He's stationed perfectly, barely had to move. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Pedro Echemendia. He sets down 6 in a row. Now it's up to the offense to pull this one out. Applin, Morin, and Torrance, scheduled in the bottom of the 7th inning with the score, High Point 2, Lancaster 0.
Like a baseball team needs pitchers, sluggers, relievers, and coaches to win games, a fire company needs firefighters, drivers, fire police officers, and administrative help to be successful. Fire companies need to function as a well-oiled team, and through training, preparing, working together like a team in an emergency, your local fire company responds to help save lives and property. It's time you stepped up to bat to hit a home run for your local Lancaster County Fire Company. Go to becomeafirefighter.org, sign up, and take a swing for the fences. Join the Lancaster County Fire Service team.
Enjoy baseball and stay in shape. The Lancaster Barnstormers have a great package for our more experienced fans to do both. The Silver Stormers package is open to all fans 55 and above. Get a ticket to all Tuesday home games. Take a walk around our beautiful stadium during the day on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And get a Silver Stormers t-shirt to sport to all of these events. The Silver Stormers is presented by A&E Audiology and Hearing Aid Center. Sign up today at the stadium or at LancasterBarnstormers.com.
Well, it is Ryan Kelly, not Trevor Frank, coming in the bottom of the 7th inning. Kelly also used as a closer for the Rockers. He recently joined this ball club. He was with the Somerset Patriots as their closer last year. Kelly is in his 6th game for High Point. He's given up 3 hits, 3 runs in 4 2/3 innings, walking 1 and striking out 6. He is from Bluffton, South Carolina, Hilton Head, South Carolina, an area that I know well. Family down that way. There's Andrew Applin leading off the 7th against Ryan Kelly, who's bidding for his 2nd Rockers save. Applin 0 for 1 with a walk. Here in game 2, the Barnstormers managed 2 singles. Michael Martinez and Darian Sanford own them. The delivery to Applin. First pitch is in for a strike from Kelly, a one-time Atlanta Brave. 0-1. Applin's had a decent doubleheader. DH in game 1, left fielder here in the nightcap. He's stolen a couple bases. He's hit a home run, showing he's far more than one-dimensional. Breaking ball, chopped foul. That's toward the Lancaster dugout, and quickly a no-ball, 2-strike count. Would this have turned out any differently with Dan Gamache? Hard to say. Game 1, probably not. Game 2, maybe. He was certainly one of the big guns in the middle of the order and tough to replace at this stage. 2 strikes to Applin. Kelly will back off momentarily. I believe that this game is now officially reached 2 hours. We started play tonight 7 hours ago. Oh, 2. The count on Applin, and Kelly backs away again. He can't seem to get together with Nigro. Applin trying to be patient here at 0-2. Parker Morin on deck, and then Devon Torrance. Lancaster has had 3 runners as far as second base in this game. They haven't gotten anyone to third. Screamer foul off the bat of Applin. Down toward the Barnstormers bullpen, still 0-2. Josh Bell gave that one a wave as it whistled past. Still 2 strikes. Applin awaits. Here's the offering, and that is creamed down the right field line, but also foul. He hasn't been able to straighten anything out. He's hit the last 2 hard. Applin batting here at 0 balls and 2 strikes as the Barnstormers try to pull out a victory at 1:00-something in the morning. Kelly to the plate. He tries to bury a back foot breaking ball. Applin takes it for ball 1, 1-2. What a long one this has been at Clipper Magazine Stadium, but at the very least, these games will not have to be made up. And again, it didn't come down in buckets during game 1, but it was enough to halt play for 1 hour and 43 minutes. It was stubborn. It wouldn't move out of here. Chopper, and again, foul up the first base line. Bell will make the play on this one as it gently rolls into his hand. He doesn't get any juice gums points for that, but he doesn't get a deduction either. 1-2 to Andrew Applin. Tolliver would be in line for the win. Irvin is not eligible even in a 7-inning game. He came out after 4 2/3. Applin fouls another one off. He'll take this at bat, the pitch number 8. This is a nice effort for the former Arizona farmhand. Andrew Applin this late, or early, if you choose to think of it that way, forces Kelly to pitch number 8, 1-2. Applin will await. The pitch is slammed, but foul again. That's going to take out somebody's windshield. Still a ball and 2 strikes on Applin, and he is putting everything he's got into this at bat. This is really a tremendous show he's putting on. He's been in both games of this doubleheader. It's been a long work day for Andrew. And, I mean, he has torched some pitches off of Kelly here in the 7th inning. He's just a little early on them. Pitch number 9 is on the way at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here it comes, and it's taken upstairs, 2-2. If Applin somehow works his way on base here, it may be advantage Barnstormers because he has ground Kelly down. 2-2 to Andrew Applin. Ryan Kelly peering in, getting the sign from Frank Nigro. Right-hander ready to go. The pitch. Breaking ball is lined right at the shortstop, Alfonso. But what a wonderful at-bat for Andrew Applin. Tip your hat to the guy. One down, and Parker Morin will step in. Morin's 0 for 2. The Barnstormers having another one of those games where in a key moment they're hitting balls at people. That's been going on too. I mean, it's not any one thing that's wrong with this ball club. Their horseshoe is turned upside down on top of everything else that's going on. One out, Morin the batter. Torrance is on deck. Kelly ready to go. Parker takes a rip and grounds it just foul outside first base. No balls and a strike. 3 balls ripped foul by Applin, and finally on pitch number 10 of the at-bat, he hits a line drive at the shortstop. It didn't have as much on it as those 3 foul balls, but still could have found a way through. Barnstormers down to 2 outs here in game 2. It will be their 7th consecutive loss. If they don't pull it out, that'll match the season high. Parker Morin batting at 0-1. The pitch, he holds on the swing. The offering was up and in. Ball 1 and strike 1. Trying to think of everything that I need to do to get ready for tomorrow. 7 o'clock game. Morin bats 1-1. Breaking ball is chased. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Irvin, Tolliver, and Kelly. A former Long Island Duck sandwiched in between 2 former Somerset Patriots. And as we mentioned, Irvin's made other stops in this league. Parker Morin digging back in at 1-2. We'll see how far he can take this at bat. Kelly goes to work. The breaking ball is high, 2-2. Oh, it's been a long inning for Kelly. He's gotten 1 out and a 2-2 count. Right-hander ready to go. The pitch, Morin fouls it at home plate. And Parker will take the at-bat, the pitch number 6. Well, these guys are fighting. You got to give them that much. Things have gone haywire, it seems, this entire season, but the guys will still battle you at 1:10 in the morning. And that says a lot. You'd like to see it turn around somewhere. 2-2 on Morin. Kelly brings it home. That is cut on and missed. The tag is applied by Nigro. And Devon Torrance, who is 0 for 2 in this game, is the final hope for the Barnstormers. Torrance is struck out looking and popped up a bunt try. Lancaster has managed 2 hits in game 2. They had 18 hits in the first 5 games of the losing streak, managed 8 in game 1 of the doubleheader, but gave up 17. Torrance digs in, the motion and the pitch. Devon with a swing and a miss. We're going to dispense with the wrap-up show, given the hour. Just remember, 7 o'clock tomorrow night we'll be on the air with Blue Ridge 11. Eric is not working with me tomorrow night. I have not gotten definitive word on the assignment. I imagine Chad Landers will be in here, but perhaps it will be otherwise. I'll know when they get here tomorrow. 0-1 to Devon Torrance. The right-hander Kelly comes back with a nasty-looking breaking ball, and the Barnstormers are down to their final strike tonight. Torrance batting at 0-2. Darian Sanford has swung the bat well here in the nightcap. He's on deck. I know Torrance gets on base somehow, and Darian hits a 2-run homer to tie it. That'll be a story. Bouncer foul. It could still happen. No balls, 2 strikes. The continuing count on Devon Torrance. Kelly goes back to work. Here's the pitch. Torrance swings and misses. The pitch gets away from Nigro. He's going to fire to first base. It won't be in time. And the ball ends up down on the Barnstormers bullpen bench. Torrance ends up at second, and they're going to wave it dead there. But the game is alive. Torrance is going to try and claim he can come around to score, but the ball clearly out of play down in the Lancaster bullpen bench. That's a strikeout and a wild pitch, and then a throwing error on Nigro, and Sanford has a shot. If he hits one out to tie the game right now, again, I can die a happy man. I said it when he had a chance for an ultimate grand slam earlier this year. He didn't come that far from the wall back in the 3rd inning. The Barnstormers are alive. Here in the bottom of the 7th, Kelly still needs to get that final out. Still a strikeout and a wild pitch the old-fashioned way. Darian Sanford, the batter. Kelly will go to work. Sanford swings for it, but he pops it up. Back into foul territory is Cardullo. High Point has swept the doubleheader. No runs, no hits, an error, 1 left in the bottom half of the 7th inning. The line totals here in Game 2, High Point 2 runs on 5 hits, 1 error, 5 left. And Lancaster, no runs on 2 hits with no errors, 6 left. Asher Tolliver the win. He is 7-1. John Anderson the loss. He goes to 5-5. Ryan Kelly with his 2nd save. The time of our game was about 2:10 to 11. And again, the attendance for the doubleheader tonight, most of them here early before the long rain delay in Game 1, 44-32. The Rockers are even in the second half, 3-3. The Barnstormers remain a complete and utter mystery. They fall to 0-5 in the second half, and for the season now, 24-50. The Barnstormers only 6-25 in their last 31 games. So again, tomorrow night, join us on Blue Ridge 11 and the Barnstormers YouTube channel. We'll be with you with the first pitch tomorrow night at 7 o'clock for the Barnstormers, Jonathan Albaladejo, and for the High Point Rockers, Dominic Damasi. So until then, for the Blue Ridge crew, for all the cast and crew, including our assistants, Joey Greer and James Murray, I'm Dave Collins. Have a great evening, everyone, and we'll see you at the ballpark.